Good evening, everyone. You're very welcome to Bridges of Light this evening. And today we're going to work with healing on your soul's journey. And as you know, anyone that has been listening to me over the last year or so knows that healing is what I feel is so important within our journeys and within the whole dimension of who we are and what our lives is about in the here and now. Last week we were working with elementals and I kind of raced through it, and I was sorry afterwards because I'll do it again and I won't race through it so much. But there is something here that I want to show you, and I'll wait a few minutes until we tend to get more people joining up. We're going to do readings this evening, and there are a few people who was registered that they wanted to read in the last time, and through my own fault I didn't get doing it. Hi Mariella, how are you? And lovely to see you here. You're a real stalwart. In other words, you're here every week, which is lovely, and you bring energy. People that comes frequently, it's not always possible. Everything is about when the time is right. When people come and unite together on a consistent basis, what actually happens is the healing happens because the universal energy is coming together, and it's easier to feel that healing energy. It's easier to allow it to manifest, and that's what it's about, is taking the time out for self. We are so busy in our lives, we're doing for this person and that person, and we don't stop to think, what about me, myself and I? And I often use that word or that term if people kind of are self-centered, but there's also the dimension that's very important within our own feelings of our being, and it's important to be able to take that time out. Hello Amy and Teresa, you're very welcome. It's lovely to see you here this evening. So when I do the cards, hi Tracy, I was talking to one of your colleagues this evening, and I hope all is going well with you. When we dedicate time out, you can just imagine what your team, and I call the energies that accompany us through life, is a team, a spirit team of guides and helpers. And you can just imagine what it's like for them, where you're able to step back from the bustle of life and take the time out for you. And it's much easier for them to draw close to you, much easier for them to give you messages. And you know, this evening is about looking at communication through colour mainly and healing. But it's so important that we do need to take that time. It doesn't happen when you're running around with your mind calculating what you're going to do next or where you're going to go. So in that respect, there's where I come from in any of the readings. I'm not into the future. I'm not into focus on now, and the future will take care of itself. Because if you look about everything, and I suppose mindfulness is the buzzword of the moment, but it's so relevant without the commercial aspect. It's so relevant in the sense that you're listening to yourself when you're in that mode. I was listening earlier on this evening to a guy who was talking about how our brain works, and how we have the alpha rays and the beta rays, and you know, the when we go into meditation, how those rays change within our system. And it's well worth looking at that and exploring a little bit, because what we have all this energy, that we are that energy, and that energy is us. That if you learn to identify it within that, it will teach you how to work to the best of your ability. So that's the main thing that we have to focus on, is be aware in the present. I'm just going to show you this now before I move on. I don't know if you have the writing up on the screen, because it might interfere. No, I'm going to show you this piece of timber, and I'll tell you what the background to it. I got a bag of firewood, and it was outside in the garage, and I went out one day, and I went to take out the blocks that to put in the container that I was taking into the house to burn for the evening. So there was this light piece, which I looked at and thought, right, there's not going to be much heat in that. And I left it on a table, on a ledge. And when I was finished, I went to look at it, and I think I was actually going to put it back in. I can't remember, because this is about 25 years ago. But when I looked at it on the side, and I don't know how much of it you can see, but if you look, there's the eye up here. We have the nose. Maybe if I get it into the light more, but I can't. And there's the mouth and chin. And here we have what we would recognize as Indian comb. So I don't know if you can see it fully, but you have the eye, the nose, and the mouth, and down to the chin. Now, if that's not elemental's work, nothing is. Because this came out of a tree. The only thing, there's no markings put on this. The only thing I did with that was to put linseed oil on it, to actually allow it to preserve it. And it was only when I took it out during the week that I actually realised I should have had it out the week before last week's session. But it's nature, Mother Nature, how it's able to actually create within its own existence. Like, I don't know whether that's the outside. It probably looks like the outside of the tree. I don't actually know. But it blew me away now, and I have it now about has to be about 25 years, because I remember the house I was living in, and that's been a while, and many houses back. But it's such, Mother Nature is here for us all, and this is what I want you to realise in your own life, because sometimes we're going through pretty tough times, and it's to go out to Mother Nature for the healing that's there, and for just that sense of being, that sense of having an awareness of your spiritual dimension of you. We know our mind, because we are a mind, we're very familiar with our mind and what it's saying and what it's convincing us to do, but we very seldom will take the time out to listen to what the Spirit wants us to do. Anyway, what do you see? Lavish. Marida Rudda is not here, Naveen is not here. Okay, now I won't be doing readings for anyone that got last time. That's the fairest way, because it is hard to get it round. But what we're going to do, I've said before that the last Friday will be about healing, no healing, just card reading. But I think in all honesty, we need to have a brief, maybe shorter meditation at every session, because for some people, someone said to me, it's the only time that they take out for themselves when they join us. And I think for that purpose, it's really important. Hi Mari, how are you? You're very welcome. Jacqueline, Sonia, yeah, Ona, I don't think I mentioned you earlier. I think I mentioned Tracy. All right, so yeah, I just want to get the cards around the right way, whatever happened. Okay. Now, let me just, I'm going to do a reading, and just, it's a brief reading, and it's about healing, and it's about colour. Anyone, because I know there's a few that would be new, it's about how your colours are working at the moment. So that gives you, it's the dimension of yourself that is in need of healing is the wrong word, but it's the where colour will actually help. I suppose that's the better way of saying it, because your colour vibration is who you are in the moment. So it's sometimes there's a deficit, sometimes it's not always as it should be. It's not as bright, as vibrant, and that tells what's happening. Okay, so let's go back and see first on Mariella. Did I do Mariella? I did do a reading for you, I think last week, didn't I? The last month. Amy, would you like to have? I'm going down the list from the top, from the joining. It's the only way I can work. So if there's a comment, yeah, anything that brings your name up to where I can see it. So yeah, I have I know I have two Mariellas, and I don't know, I haven't the surname down. Yes, please, Amy. How did I know you wouldn't say no? Okay, now what I do is I'm going to pick three colours. These are our Gordon Smith's cards, and I love working with them because they're inspirational, and they actually help. So I'm picking three cards for you. This one, the Earth Seed, very apt. Let's see. The Earth Dragon. Okay, that says a lot, and you're getting Earth cards. And distance, which is about space. Now I have my own cards, and they are very simple. My own cards just has a title, a word. They're inspirational cards. And I think I said before, I got the drawings, and then I got about 3 weeks later, I got the words that was needed to go with them. Okay, I'm going to turn them, and I'll see. Now, this one. Wisdom. Trust. And patience. Okay, so it's funny, patience comes with the space. For you, Amy, this is very much you, because even the colours, you know, you have that earthy, that brightness that's coming out there, that energy that comes out and reaches out with you. I feel with it, you need now to start steering your energy, because it's there, the vibrancy is there. You have two cards, you have the family cards, and that's the Earth Dragon and the Earth Seed. So you need to actually see yourself changing. You know, if you can see in this one here, you can see where the baby is, what it's like in the womb, and it's getting the energy from the trees. This is a time now where you actually need to I would say maybe steering in a broadening your horizon, because there's so much there for you to actually look at doing. Options are coming your way. You actually to have the earth dragon, which is about, you know, the fire. That's the fire you need, because feel, and it, as I say, in the colour itself, in that orangey colour, you have that energy there. You just need to stay with it. Get yourself, I know you have done a lot of development, and I know you have, meditation is something that's very, it takes you places. When you're meditating, go with what you're being told. Feel it, believe it. Just don't need to have a whole load of questions. Just listen and feel, and that's what will actually direct you in the right direction. To trust, you know, the earth dragon and trust, the two cards that came out together, came from in the two and in the same position. So trust is your big thing. It will all come together. You also the number 6 in that, and the number 6, I feel you know a bit about numerology. The number 6 is about family coming together and being the nurturer. That's where I see change for you, and I see all of that are so much involved in this change that's going to take place around you. It doesn't say automatically you're going to move jobs. It's, you can have the interest in different things without it actually meaning change. And I feel that's where within, as I'm talking, I feel that within your mediumship, you're going to have more of an input into your work with your guides, surrendering and trusting, because that's important. But it also gives distance and patience as the two later cards. So with that, when I'll show you the distance card, it's like you're taking from the earth seed that you've had as number 1, you're taking it and you're kind of on your own. And there's no harm in being on your own. That gives you a chance to actually not be influenced by what other people are doing or saying. So just be aware that that's important. So for you, having been with you a few times, those cards are very apt for your direction. Your guide team are working with you, and I have a feeling also there's a new guide coming in. You have that orange in you, and it's to be worked with. Otherwise, you'll feel drawn back. You'll feel you've been pulled back from what you want to. So that's the reality of it. Okay. No, I'm gonna do this one. Just giving these a bit of a shuffle so that they're not going to come out the same. Some of these. No. Amy, that was him. Teresa. And will I go ahead, Teresa? You're very welcome, Amy. Trust in that, because you have a lot more than you actually realise within yourself. A lot more. And that, I know, is the time for. I'm doing the cards, Teresa, for you. If you're here, just let me know that it's okay before I put them out. I always know there's a time lapse between what comes up and okay. I'm Fran and doing from the top down. You see, it's very hard to do it this way and to keep it, keep that everyone is going to be covered in it, that, pardon me, that everyone is going to have, should I see, Was that Tracy you said? No, Teresa. Teresa came in second, and that's the way I kind of, there's only time to do. Hi Paul, how are you? Lovely to see you in. And Helen, trusting ourselves is the best way to live our lives. So true, Mariella. Trust. It's the one thing that's taken away from us when we're very young. We trust everything for a number of years, for 2 years, and then we started distrust because we're told not to do this or not to do that. And it's trust that gets us walking. Think of that. Without trust. Okay, Leslie, have to catch the recording. You're fine. Leslie, you'll be okay. Okay, right, Tracy. We're going with Tracy because I haven't got, I haven't got, Teresa hasn't got back to me. So Tracy, you're next in line, all right? And I'm going to take out 3 cards for you. There's one, the Earth, the Ring of Stars, and the Ring of Water. Interesting, that one. And Sunrise. I'll show them to you. I'll show them to you as I work. And now just because I was shuffling them for Teresa, I just want to shuffle them for you. Okay. Is that Teresa? No, let's see. I don't know whether that is Teresa. Was that you that put up I am here? Just do it again if you are, because it just doesn't, it's hard to do it in this way. Right, the first one that comes up, Tracy, is strength. The second one that comes up is love. And the third one that comes up is intuition. Interesting. Isn't that interesting, Leslie? Tracy, what do you see now? I'll show you the first card. Ring of Stars. The Ring of Stars, what it's about is that you're looking at the stars are always here, but we don't always recognize them. We don't always take in what it means to be able to see the stars. The star comes out when it's dark. So in other words, your most productive time is when you can hear, when you can be aware that the world is here for you to work with, for change. This is another card that shows some change. Change in how you look at things. Because you don't see the stars during the day, when you actually go along and stop and feel, you will feel the energy. You will feel the energy in the, how would I put it, in their existence, because we are cosmic, we're all part of this, but that's very kind of blanket. What I'm getting is that there's a sense here that you distrust your own ability. You distrust what it is that is there in you. You have all this here. You have all the connections that you need. There's a strength. The strength is coming with that one. And what you need to do is get that strength active. Don't be waiting around for it to happen next week, next month. Because we're part of the universal energy, which is here. You're the diamond. It shows the diamond that's in the middle. You're here, and you actually need to connect with that energy. That strength is there, because as you are at the moment, it feels like you are low in energy. That you find it difficult to take yourself to that place where you can actually find what's good for you. So now is the time. Now is the time for you to actually start doing that, and don't be put back by people who now it's not that they don't want you to do well, but people that kind of undermine that strength that's there, because you are a very strong energy there. You have a strong spirit energy. Go with it and don't be afraid of it. You'll be looked after. Tenacity helps. Yes, Leslie, tenacity does help. Because it's not, don't take it that when you fall in the first hurdle, that's going to continue. You've learned something from whatever it was. Allow yourself the space and allow yourself to go forward. The next one that you have here is the ring of water. And if you see, you still have this, turn the card, you still have the same symbol in both. You have that diamond, but also with the ring of water. And even though you're in a different, you know, the first one was the space, this one is the water family. That's about emotions. And I'll say no more about that because I know it's a public arena. But just that diamond is very important because it's come up to you twice. Don't underestimate the value of what you have in here. Don't underestimate it because it is quite beautiful. And when it comes up with the card of love, it's telling you as well that the love of yourself is the most important love of all. You can't give love if you're not able to be aware of the love of yourself. So absolutely. Now you have sunrise, which is coming to the part where it really is the sunrise, everything's starting to be revealed. If you look and you see, you're the embryo, it's still embryonic there, you're at the embryo stage of your existence in the rest of your life. What you're going to do now is you're going to take that energy, and if you see that what you have is the sunrise, that's the time where you're able to enjoy the whole essence of where you are. You know, everything is so fresh at daybreak. It's really beautiful. And what you have in this, you have a great set of cards for what's going on for you at the moment, is intuition. Because your intuition will bring you where you're meant to be. And don't be afraid of it, because it is something that's going to, something and someone that's going to bring up a conversation that is very important at this moment in time. And it'll be quite a throwaway remark that's made that will actually make a sense to you. Okay? Right, and Mariella adds to it, we are part of a big universe. So we are energy. We need to be positive to approach all the difficulties we can find. Again, I'm trying this and it may... all the difficulties we can find on our walk. A beautiful sunrise, orange in the colour of our soul. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Okay, now let me go back. You're very welcome, Tracy. I don't know if Teresa responded there, back there. Leslie, you got back in anyway. Now, Tracy, Una, sorry. Una, did we do a reading last week or last month? Okay, no, you're not on the last month. What does it say? I'll pause this for a moment. No, Amy, Teresa, Tracy, Una, yeah. So you're in the 4th place. Lovely. And that's going to do this one. And we'll do about a 10-minute meditation later. And that will be, because I think the healing is one of the most important the healing part of all that we can reach out and achieve for ourselves. And sometimes it takes sometimes to be in a group to actually activate it in yourself, because you're committed to it. And that's what is nice about, I talked before about group energy and how you can work it for yourself. It's like any group getting together, you know, you have Weight Watchers, you have all of the, you know, different groups for different reasons. And it's the energy that comes together collectively that actually takes us along to believe in ourselves and what we can do. So it's collectively we can work, and that's why I'd encourage you to do. Now, fresh water, that's your first card. Connections, all right? And your third card is Eternal Flame. Eternal Flame. So you have the water, space and fire. Interesting. So you have a mix of everything, and that's a lovely one there in the water. Never mind me, I talk to myself all the time. I have a great team, they're tired listening to me. I was looking at the cards where I shouldn't have been. If I keep my mind on what I'm doing. You know, one of the things here is that I'm talking to myself, talking to you. It's a weird feeling. You should stand in front of the mirror someday and just start talking to yourself and see how weird it is. Healing is the first card that's out. Wisdom, yeah. And the third card that's out is trust. All right. What you have here is the fresh water, and if you look, you have the babe in the womb, and it's so profound in the sense that it is new life, it's new beginnings, it's everything about it. It's the blue is healing, and it's like having the sense that it's safe where I am, and I'm being looked after, and you don't have to worry about being I suppose annoyed by the outer world at this present moment. You also have within that, and I know part of your story, but there's more of it, about expression, where you're really at this stage now. There's more time now for expression. So it's like the healing aspect that's going to be a big feature in a different way to what you've done in the past. So if you look at that and see that you're nice and cozy there, you're being fed through the umbilical cord from everything that's around you. So just being aware of the strength of that. We always have, our memory of being in the womb is always with us. We don't be aware of it. If you do regression, yes, but not everyone would be interested in doing regression. But you are, from you come into creation, that memory is within us. It's a cellular memory. We have healing. And if, where I feel all of that coming together is very much about the healing, and that healing that can be enabled by other people, or for other people, not by other people, sorry. It's about being aware that you can actually do more good, and I know the path you've been on, and you've done tremendous good, but there's another path coming and another way of you working. Connections. I'm just looking at the two here. Connections and wisdom. Connections, and we have wisdom here. There are your two cards coming together. That, again, you have, what you have there is the baby. Baby would always feature a lot with Gordon, because he would feel that connection is always there with who we are from conception. And it is so profound. It's like the inner child is there. We actually have so much to learn from connecting with that feeling. You have, if you look, you have the energy all around you. It's like, one day I'm going to get out of here. It's just that sense of feeling. Be aware that the timing is important. The timing's important because you have to feel it. Just not, if you look, it's something that just feels there's more time. What have you in the eternal flame? Okay. Yeah, I would feel coming from probably the part of wisdom is important, because timing is so important in that. I feel it's just don't rush into it. Be aware that it's what you're going to do in the time to come will be very significant for other people. But for yourself, have yourself ready for it. Just don't jump in, even though your mind will say, yeah, I'm all excited, I want to do it. But just give it time. And I think that is where the wisdom card comes in. It's letting you know that the wisdom, and you would have heard me saying before, wisdom doesn't come from gaining knowledge and academics. Wisdom is coming from within and connecting to that within. So allow yourself that space to do. We have here the eternal flame. This reminds me, when I look at this man, I always think of Marilyn, because it's like that knowledge that's there. It's like all the little cauldron that can do everything, pull everything together. And the fire in the belly. And I feel that's where at the minute is that it's there for you, but just don't jump for it. Give yourself that time and allow it, because it's like it's coming together. Everything you can see inside. I don't know whether you can see clearly. I don't know. Is that clear in the picture? It's just to be aware that when the time is right, it's like cooking something. There's a time where you're cooking, but it's not ready for working with. That's what I feel with that, and you have the trust with it as well. So trust that, and you also have at the moment what I'm feeling with you. You have a lot of yellow around you. Yellow for getting yourself, I suppose, in a way, psyched up at the moment. And this is not to do with the cards. Just now, it's to have the fact of your own reality. And as I say, I know some of your journey, but this is different. This is about being aware of yourself in. Let me see who's saying hello. Sylvia, how are you? Rachel too, and I think this is the other Mariella, isn't it? I get confused. Not hard confusing me now. And I was saying Mariella as our. I must actually get to say your two names, your surname, because then I'd recognise straight away. Fresh water is a healing element, and so spiritual, very definitely. We are part of a big universe, so we are energy. We need to be positive to approach all the difficulties we can find on our walk. Yeah, and isn't life a walk? It's a walk through the quagmire at times. Then you have everything very easy going and everything able to fit into place. and then you get something that you stumble with, but that's where we're actually getting stronger in ourselves. So, Sonia, did I do readings before? Did I do readings before? We have to organise our life, enjoying, we have to organise our life, employing our time in a better way to get positive results and be happy. Yeah, alone and with our friends, our family is in every type of relationship. Yeah, and every relation has a different relationship with us. Sonia, I'm not too sure what, I have a feeling we did a reading before. To get anything here, there's times I just put it haywire. Sonia, I don't, yes. At the minute what I'll do, because I know I have new people, Sonia, on when it was, I think it's probably the 2 months, it wasn't the last one, because I have the names here of the last, there was people, where were we, up here? This quarter, time for 2, just one, I'd say, one more. Marie or Marie O'Connor. Okay, are you here, Marie? Just let me know, because I'm shuffling the cards. I just need to know who I'm shuffling the cards for. I have to move on if I don't. All right. It's just a pity there is a time lapse. There's always a time lapse. And hello, nice to see you again, Bridie. Yeah. Lovely. Bonjour, Madame Leslie. Thanks so much. Helen, where are you, Helen? And I think, Helen, we did a reading before. And Aisling. Hi, Aisling. Helen Baker. I don't think we have done a reading. Fran, I think we did a reading before. Okay. What happens is things happen in the house where people has to go somewhere and it doesn't always follow. So Helen Baker, are we around? I think we might actually change direction in the readings, as it is hard to have a way for it to work easily. Helen Baker here. Eyo. No, Helen Baker is not here. Right. Sonia Marie. Jacqueline. It's Jacqueline. Jacqueline Burton. So I can't go ahead with the cards. It's shuffling the cards. I need to be saying right whose name they're coming up for. Yes, yes. Who's yes, yes? Helen Baker. Lovely. That's great. They were done with your name in hand, so I'll just do this one again. One of the things that I'm seeing is there's green, a lot of green around you at the minute. And the green has two focuses. One is that it's about balance and healing. So I feel there's a lot of healing coming from you. You also have a lot of passion here. Passion's fire. Okay. The next one is trade winds. Interesting that. That's one I haven't seen come up very often. And the third one, and here's green coming up twice for you, the circle of clouds. Now that's right. And now I'm going to do is pick my own 3 cards for you. And this one here is healing. And 2 cards came out here, so I'm putting the 2 out. On the second one, on trade winds, the 2 cards that came out is patience and wisdom. So I'm putting that with your second card. And then we have peace coming out with the circle of clouds. I don't know if you can see, sorry. Circle of clouds, okay. Now, this will be, there's healing is coming out, passion's fire. What this card is saying, it's kind of mutes the colour orange for you, and yet now the yellow, the brighter aspect of it comes with when it's around you, the energy just around you. There has been a lot of pressure on you, and I just feel that that's something that is going to be is going to change now, because you have the healing coming with it. Just allow yourself the space, give yourself space, because I feel these cards are very much about being active, and as I say, the green is automatically around you at the minute, as in your spirit, and you have green coming out here in the cards as well. Be aware just that you need to take an objective viewpoint about something that's going on for you at the moment. When you have the feminine in us is about the nurturing, but we also need to be aware that at this point in time for you, the masculine energy needs to come into play more, because if you keep using that nurturing energy, you're going to feel depleted. So for you, I would feel that it's the whole aspect of your healing energy needs to be channeled for you. At this present time, I feel healing's big aspect of your energy, but for now, it's about you. It's about holding on to energy for yourself, and not the passion's fire is okay for a while, but if you keep using that energy in your life, you're not going to feel the power of your own energy. You're going to be carried away with now the trade winds, that is pulling you apart. Sorry, I'll show you. The trade winds is pulling that, as I said earlier about the difference between the masculine and feminine energy. You need to get that in place, and I feel it's very much at the moment relevant to what the future is holding for you. That you have to get yourself in the right place. Go with it when you feel the time is right, because you have the 2 cards here, patience and wisdom. The patience is about the right time, and the wisdom is telling you the right time. So just be aware that for you now, be in the control seat of where your future is taking you. It will take you to the right place when you trust what it is going on for you. And it's about a lot of things going on outside of your life, outside of you. You're being pulled into situations outside of you, and come on, pull back. The nurturing side is time for nurture yourself. Okay, the circle of clouds, and in the circle of clouds you can see the diamond being circled by the clowns, clowns. Trade, the trade wind. Sorry, it's the middle of Helen's reading. What we're doing here, we're looking here at the diamond being within the circle of clouds. And I said already to you about everything that's going on around you. It's what's going on around you that's kind of taken up your energy, and you're holding on to your diamond, and it is the right thing to do, because you have the healing energy that's going to work with you. Get that. Ask your guides. Sit in meditation, and allow your guides to draw close. Because when they draw close, you will actually have, you'll have that essence of the journey that's important for you to become aware of now. And the peace will come with it. When we're in the midst of a lot of things going on for us, it's very hard to realise that we need that peace of mind, but most of all, peace of spirit, and how we go along and deal with things. It's very different when we find that inner peace. That's the time when we make the right decisions for ourselves, not when our mind's here, there and everywhere. And to go back to Mariella's question about the trade winds, the trade winds is a power energy that takes us everywhere and nowhere. We're going here and we're going there. We're being pulled apart, and that's where we talk about the trade winds and on energy as if we're being pulled by something that's not actually of benefit to us. So it's getting within the cards here is that nurturing energy that's there that has to be separated because you don't want to be pulled in all directions. Okay, we have a couple of minutes. And we'll have a couple of minutes. So I'm going to ask you just to go into the peace within, and I'm going to put on the music. And let us just take a few moments, because this is what it's about. Just to sit nice and comfortable. We have about 5 minutes to work with. And just allow yourself the space to do what you feel is right. To go into that inner sanctum. We are the temple of our spirit. So just allow yourself the space to take your mind into your inner being, the essence and the energy of who you really are. And as you do that, just become aware of colour silver, and allow that colour to penetrate every cell in your body. Being aware that silver is able to heal, is able to protect, and will guide us in the right direction. visualize the colour gold and allow ourselves the privilege of letting the gold fill every cell in our body. The precious gift of enlightenment, of healing, and of wisdom. So being aware that at all times we can access the essence that we have within our body, and allow it now to enter into our energy field, our auric energy, that beautiful energy that we are all part of. And as we bring this evening to a close, we're becoming aware of how we actually can face the next moment, the next hour, day, week. That we can bring joy into our hearts, that our team of helpers are here to help us and will allow you to communicate with them at any time of day. They are as much part of your essence as your physical being. So if you would like to stay where you are for a few moments after we finish up, just be aware that the essence of who you are is precious. So I'll be back here next week. We have nothing on the books at the moment for next week's show, so maybe we'll just see what happens and go with this spontaneous approach. Okay, bless you all and have a lovely week.